in my soul, they gon' be reaping what they sow. No one knows because they tried to keep it on the low from all my folks because they cold, so I'ma kill them with the flow. Blinded by the dough, we can't see clearly through the smoke. They'd rather see us on that road, locked up, they're buried in a hole. They wanna see us go because they can't go toe to toe, but I can feel it in my soul, they gon' be reaping what they sow. Try to stop a flow, but they cannot achieve their goal, so I can feel it in my soul, they gon' be reaping what they sow.
You're having that dream where you made the white people riot, weren't you?
But I was telling the truth.
How many times have I told you you better not even dream about telling white folk the truth? You understand me? Shoot. Making white people riot. You better learn how to lie like me. I'm gonna find me a white man and lie to him right now.
I ain't at to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't at to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep them fiending. If any try to short you, make sure that you leave them leaking. He said,
I'ma hold you down when problems pop up.
How you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said,
Don't you want the Benz vertible with the top cup?
Yeah.
Stop, bitch, you get in that kitchen. Let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's wop up. I know you know Ron.
Who the plug from by the block up?
I'll tell you a little secret. Make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Trips to the Bahamas, just got a whip for his mama. He fucking up them commas, be honest, he seeing decent though.
I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. In fact, he ain't looking too good. His knees is kind of slow. I asked him why the struggle. He got stuck up for his bundle, but them 6 hollow tips in his legs what made him crumble.
At least he got a house and mama is living good.
Said the feds took it all. He right back in the hood. I see you try to play me. You gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more of them cars when to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds, so you don't faze me.
I guarantee that you gon' regret it. Remember I said it.
Nah, you could dead it.
What you saying? I can't win?
Nah, devil nice try. So until we meet again,
I ain't at to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't at to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we've been getting fucked and put to the side like a mistress. Police patrolling why? Because prison became a business. They murder one of ours and they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we riot, they send the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die a martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I gave up my vice. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave our homeboy's life? I've been wondering why you shot our homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's trife, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, Akai Gurley, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Alden, Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't at to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. And we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. But he said, I pray you die, every devil.
So the Lord gonna deal with you for that shit. He mad. He mad as hell about that swag, man. You need to read that nigga some scriptures. Read him a few scriptures on the swine, nigga. They ain't gonna know it's unclean. He gonna know they do unclean things. No Christians allowed, man. No Christians allowed, man. Body don't die. Hey, I be sipping on my sorrow. You fucked over me today, well I can't fuck with you tomorrow. Pay no mind and I can borrow. I'm gonna spread that UBK and tell them devils feel my sorrow. Try to rob me for my check, nigga. Better not break them laws, you know that's death, nigga. What if the Lord took you out your flesh, nigga? Hey, fucking with the prophets, you get less, nigga. In the belly of the beast, I am all about my butter. Got the jelly with the wheat. Niggas know it ain't sweet though. Like a piece of roll, you can feel the heat though. Young Dooley that'll cause me to ski though. I'm sliding on them cold as a Minnesota winter. I survive it on them like the Eskimos. Yes, you know the natives be the brothers. Shout out to the Haitians, we above them. Cause leave I be the nation, motherfucker. Every time I got them on, I got them hating, motherfucker. I don't put no powders on, that's that devil wear. Every time you see me with that metal, boy, it's Everclear. Strong like electric chair. Niggas feeling fire. Niggas getting shot when I talk what they desire. But everything was prior. The prophecies is coming out. Them niggas get the running when them trumpets get the drumming out. Screw up. Hey, I be sipping on my sorrow. You fucked over me today, well I can't fuck with you tomorrow. Pay no mind and I can borrow. I'm gonna spread that UBK and tell them devils feel my sorrow. Try to rob me for my check, nigga. Better not break them laws, you know that's death, nigga. What if the Lord took you out your flesh, nigga? Fucking with them prophets, you get less, nigga.
I'm just trying to do what a motherfucking prophet do. Why you trying to stop it, dude? If this is not the truth, would I die for a lie? Hell nah, I never do. I'ma die for the truth. This is what I'm telling you. Hoping that your mind bulletproof for what they telling you. Hoping you ain't buying all the lies they been selling you. Never knew all the fucking faggot shit they reverend do. Bet they run when the news come like the reverend do. We on the grind trying to help these Jews find they mind. They still like Jews, but we still gon' shine. Our brothers gon' locked up. All they doing is time. I can't wait until the devil gotta pay for his crimes.
Hey, I be sipping on my sorrow. You fucked over me today, well I can't fuck with you tomorrow. Pay no mind and I can borrow. I'm gonna spread that UBK and tell them devils feel my sorrow. Try to rob me for my check, nigga. Better not break them laws, you know that's death, nigga. What if the Lord took you out your flesh, nigga? Fucking with them prophets, you get less, nigga.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. There's no one that can match me.
No affiliation, why they faking? This ain't for debating. We the real, they really imitation. I be contemplating why this ain't no like heavy rotation on radio stations. I just pray the Lord give me patience, cause I'm running through these rappers like my name Walter Payton. Shitting on these rappers, 9 to 5 is my occupation. Raw, you come in with your best troops, you best bring more. Already told you I got the juice like Orenthal. Already know what I'm about to do, bet your men fall. Everyone know that we got the truth, all your men falls. So boss, overtaking our enemies. Moves calculated and orchestrated like symphonies. Smooth operated when bringing haters to misery. Top 5 list ain't shit unless you mention me. Yeah. That's why we don't associate. Fuck niggas make them more fuck niggas. Why they procreate? Why they overhate? Cause their time is short and a moment late. Let it culminate to they harder race and it palpitate. Cowards perpetrate.
Test. Clap it up. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started on 1 West, 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yana. You understand? And we are finishing up the Feast of Purim, right? This is a memorial that was given to us by the Lord to keep. You understand? And it's very important that we keep these memorials. It's very important that we follow the Lord's law, statutes, commandments, and the things that he left behind for us, man. You understand? Because this memorial will allow us to remember the time that the Lord showed us mercy and brought us out of the land of our captives, where we were being destroyed, man. You understand? And so it's very important to know your history. You Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all are the true Jews according to the Bible.
That's right.
You understand? You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians who are being persecuted on the 4 corners of the earth, you are the true Jews according to the Bible. You understand? And the Lord is commanding you to follow the Lord, to follow these feast days, to follow to make sure that you remember these memorials, man. You understand? We're gonna go into Esther. We're gonna start up from the top until Commander General Yohana come in. Commander General Yohana is gonna come in and he's gonna finish up the rest of Esther. You understand? And we're gonna get it in, man. You understand? Y'all make sure y'all get relaxed. Everybody get some food. You know what I'm saying? Make sure we got some space and everything like that. All right. Let me get Colossians 2:8 real quick.
Come.
You understand? All of these holidays, you understand, they mean nothing. They mean nothing to the Lord, man.
That's right.
The only thing we got to do is follow what the Lord tells us to do, man. The Christian church has deceived Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians for centuries. Baba Kusha, I need that. I'm trying not to mix it up with this liquor, yeah. I mean this wine. That's gonna have my stomach hurting. You understand? The Lord gave us gave us our own high holy days and feast days to adhere to. You understand? And that's why it's very, very important that we read the Bible and we get our understanding from Commander General Yana. There's no other group out here that can tell you or teach you the oracles of this Bible, the mysteries of this Bible. You understand? That's why it's important to get it from the priests and prophets of the Lord. You understand? So let's go here. Let's go to Colossians 2:8 real quick.
Come. The book of Colossians chapter 2 verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
The Bible says beware. It's a warning. It's letting you know that there's going to be philosophy and vain deceit out here, and you're going to be captivated by it. You understand? What are some of those things? Christmas. You understand? Halloween, Easter. All of these things that mean nothing. All of these things that have origins. Look, the water up. Most High Christ. All of these holidays that have origins that are evil and demonic and disgusting, man, have some origins of sexual deviancies. You know what I'm saying? Or murder, or you know, whatever evil you can think of. You understand? So Read it from the top again.
The book of Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
You got to watch out for these Christian pastors out here because they will spoil you with vain deceit and lies, man. They will tell you lies for nothing, for days. You understand? Y'all love that T.D. Jakes man out there. Y'all love that man out there. Y'all love Bishop Eddie Long. Y'all love Joel Osteen. Y'all love Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. Oh, not Muhammad Ali. What's the other dude? Farrakhan. Y'all love the philosophy and the vain deceit from these pastors and these leaders, you know, in this world, man. Read on.
After the tradition of men.
Don't follow the traditions of these men. Beware of the traditions of these men. The traditions of these men is to go and celebrate Christmas, man, which we know is a pagan holiday that comes from the origin stories of Nimrod and his mother. You understand? The same thing with Easter. Read on.
After the rudiments of the world.
After the rudiments of the world, right? It's telling you to beware of that. But how do you beware of that? How is it that you can how is it you can stray away from that? The way you stay away from that is you get into the Bible, man. You get your understanding from Commander General Yohana.
That's right.
You understand? You get your understanding from Commander General Yohana in the Bible, and we're gonna teach you about these feast days. We're gonna teach you how to understand and read these scriptures, so you'll know what your responsibility on this earth is as a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and woman. You understand? Any more on that?
Kawakan. And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. You understand? Because that's what's happening in this earth today. Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not doing the things that Christ would have us to do. They're doing the things that the traditions of men. But we got to strive to do what our King Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Christ, we got to strive to do what it is that he wants us to do.
That's right.
We got to strive to move like Christ. And we have the example right now. Commander General Yohana is our example.
That's right.
He moves just like Christ. You understand? And he teaches us to move like Christ as well. How would Christ move? Well, Christ wouldn't be eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster.
That's right.
You understand? Christ ain't eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Christ ain't getting drunk and becoming a drunkard and brawling. You understand? Christ ain't out there committing fornication, committing adultery. Christ ain't doing those things. You understand? We have to be more like Christ, man. Read on.
The book of Colossians chapter 2, verse 9. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily.
You said that was it on that. Let's get to Esther real quick. Start at the first chapter. You know, said we're gonna talk about Esther, man, because one thing, and this is such a good lesson for sisters as well, man, because Esther was such a beautiful and brave woman. I mean, that woman was an excellent woman because she knew how to obey orders and she obeyed God. She didn't just obey God, but she loved God with her entire heart, man. Why? The reason why we know she loved God is because she was willing to martyr from the Most High. She was willing to die for the Most High, man. You understand? She was willing to take whatever repercussions that it meant that she was going to have to take because of the fact to make sure that Israel was going to live.
Right.
Because there was a time where there was an evil man named Haman inside of this story, you understand, that wanted to destroy the Israelites off the earth, would have executed us and would have had us all wiped out. But it was because of the valiant and bravery of this woman that didn't happen. And of course, her cousin Mordecai. You understand? So let's get into it. Let's start from the top. Let's read. You understand? I'm gonna try to keep a good pace so y'all can follow along. Let's get it.
The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, this is Ahasuerus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia.
For everybody online, shalom, Yahweh Shusha Bakatah, Yahweh Shemala Tabashimi Ashah. All right, read it again. Go ahead.
Over 107 and 20 provinces.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, that in those days, when the king of Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace.
Now this is talking about King Ahasuerus, man. King Ahasuerus was a king, right? So like it. 1 second, let me get mine. All right. Set this right here. All right. In this time period, our people were under this king, man. You understand? Read on.
Come. Verse 3. In the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants.
Right.
The power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces, being before him.
This area, this location where it's talking about Persia, Media, all of this area right here is like where the land of Iran is right now. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong if you're officer in there. All right, keep reading.
Come. Verse 4. When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty.
Because he was a very rich man, had a lot, man. You understand? Was showing off his riches out there. Read on.
Many days, even 180 days. Verse 5. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small. 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace. Verse 6.
So this man was throwing a big banquet, man, a big party, and invited everybody to come out, see his banquet, see his riches. You know what I'm saying, man? Showing off his, he was just that king. He was just really, a rich heathen. Read on.
Verse 6. Where were white, green, and blue hangings, fastened with cords of fine linen, and purple to silver rings, and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver, upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black.
Keep reading.
Marble. Verse 7. And they gave them drink in the vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse from one another, and royal wine in abundance, according to the state of the king. Verse 8. And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel. For so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure.
Meaning give them as much as they want. Give them as much alcohol that they want. Give them whatever pleasure they want. This is what this king was allowing to happen at this banquet. You understand? Just imagine a ridiculously expensive party. Imagine a P. Diddy party, Salagi. We ain't gonna get into that. I don't want to go into conspiracies and stuff like that. But just imagine a big expensive party. That's what this was right here. You understand? And he wanted to make sure that his people was getting, that the officials was making sure everybody at this party was getting whatever pleasure and everything that they wanted out of this. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Also Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the woman in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
So Vashti, his queen, also had a banquet going on for, all of the women as well. Go ahead.
Verse 10. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Meuman, Bazath, Harbonah, Biggoth, and Abigatha, Zathar, and Carcass, the several chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king. Verse 11. To bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal.
So he sent his servants to go get his Queen Vashti, right? Read on.
To shew the people and the princes her beauty.
To show the people, the princes at this banquet, how beautiful this woman was. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why he called for him. He sent his servants to go call for her. Go ahead.
For she was fair to look on.
Now he trying to show off, like, what kind of man does that, man? I'm not finna parade my woman around here for everybody to see, That's what he did, though. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted everybody to see his beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to parade her and show her off. Go ahead.
Verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment.
But she refused to come at his commandment. She decided she wasn't going to listen to his command. Read on.
By his chamberlains, Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
So he was angry at her. Keep going.
Verse 13. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. Verse 14. And the next unto him was Karshina, Shathar, Athma, Tarshish, Mears, Marsana, and Mabacum, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face and was sat the first in the kingdom.
So this is like the king's, this is the king's advisor. These are the men who advise him on the law. You know what I'm saying? And he wanna go into the law and find out what he can do to Queen Vashti for not obeying his orders. You know what I'm saying? So he goes to them for advice on the law. Read on.
Verse 15. What shall we do unto the Queen Vashti according to law? Because she have not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains.
So he's asking them what penalty we can put on this woman for not doing what I told her to do. Read on.
Verse 16. And Mabcum answered before the king and the princes, Vashti, the queen, have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people.
No sweat, sir. It ain't no sweat. Hey, clap it up for the general, man. Clap it up for the general. Yeah, man. Let's get back to it. Read that from the top.
Come. The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 16. And Mabcum answered before the king and the princes, Vashti, the queen, have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
What did Makan say? Read again. Read what Makan said again.
Answer before the king and the princes, Vashti, the queen, have not done wrong to the king only.
So she not only offended you and did wrong to you, read on,
but also to all the princes.
But she also did wrong to all of the princes. Read on.
And to all the people.
And to all the people. Read.
That are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Right.
Verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad into all women.
What is he saying? What is he saying right here? Go ahead,
so that
hold on. This brother right here.
What he's saying is that all women of the kingdom are going to hear about it.
They're gonna hear about it. And then what's gonna happen? They're gonna emulate it. Give them a hand. You understand? Like he just want to make sure, they letting them know, like this is going, everybody, when these women find out that she defined her husband, these women inside in the city, they're gonna start defying their husbands, and then it's gonna fall apart in that household, man. You understand? Read on.
So that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes, when it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti, the queen, to be brought in before him, but she came not.
Because that's what the report is going to be. Everybody's going to hear about it. It's going to be talks. It's going to be gossip. Girl, did you hear Queen Vashti? She don't listen to her husband. I ain't listening to my husband either. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's trying to advise the king on as to what can happen. So this offense is not only your offense, King Ahasuerus. This offense is everybody's offense now. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of all the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
It's going to be a lot of fighting and arguing in that household. It's going to be a lot of wrath in that household, because that woman is going to feel like she can do whatever she wants, say whatever she wants. Why? Because Queen Vashti. This is not different from any time you've heard any examples that you see on TV right now. You know, when you see some sisters addressing and doing the things that they doing on TV, and you tell your woman, I don't want you to do that, but she might want to do it anyway because it's the popular thing that she sees going on. She might feel like she can get away with it. Why? Because her husband lets her do it. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no before the king Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
So now this advisor said you should banish her and give her royal estate to somebody else who's worthy. You understand? We should make a law that banishes this woman. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 20. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small.
So now what would happen if we make a punishment for Queen Vashti? What will happen with the women in the provinces? They'll start to respect their husbands. They'll respect their husbands because they're going to hear that, okay, yeah, Queen Vashti, she's, you know, she decided she was going to be disobedient, but hold, wait a minute, she got banished for it. You know, she got punished for that. You know what I'm saying? So now these sisters going to be thinking in their mind, or these women are going to be thinking in their mind in the provinces, nah, it ain't worth it. I ain't going to get in trouble for that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 21, and the saying pleased the king and the princes. And the king did according to the word of Memucan. Verse 22, for he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province, according to the writing thereof.
That's right.
Into every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house.
Damn right.
And that it should be published according to the language of every people.
And that was the new law that his advisors had him to go ahead and enter into the law, man. Next, go to the next verse.
Come. The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her.
So now after his anger had subsided, and he decided he wasn't angry about what Vashti did anymore, he remembered Vashti's situation, and then he read that again.
And what she had done, and what was decreed against her.
Right. So he remembered what she done and the punishment that they had put in place for what she did. Read on.
Come. Verse 2. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgin sought for the king.
So now what they're going to do is they're going to search. The king wants to for his nobles and for his servants to go out and find young virgins. Go ahead. Because we're about to get into Esther soon. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins in Shushan, the palace, to the house of the woman, and to the custody of the hedge, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the woman, and let their things for purification be given them. Verse 4, and let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti.
So now this king is having to put out a decree to go out and get all of the beautiful virgin women all in the provinces and bring those women to him so they can be purified and see which one could stand in the place of Queen Vashti. All right, go ahead.
And the king, and the thing pleased the king.
And that thing pleased the king. Go ahead.
And he did so. Verse 5. Now Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai.
Mordecai. Now you hear this name right here. This ought to send trembles down your spine right here, because this was a bad brother right here. You understand? This was a bad brother, because if it wasn't for the guidance of this brother for that sister, we would not be here today. You understand? This brother made an excellent commitment to the Lord by guiding and counseling this sister who had became the queen over this land with this heathen, right? Read on.
The son of Jair,
Mm-hmm.
the son of Shammai,
Uh-huh.
the son of Kish,
Mm-hmm.
a Benjamite.
He was a Benjamite, right? Read.
Verse 6,
Mm-hmm.
who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity which had been carried away with Jeconiah,
Mm-hmm.
the king of Judah, who Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
Right.
Verse 7, and he brought a Hadassah, that is Esther,
Mm-hmm.
his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
So this is Mordecai's cousin, right? This is Mordecai's cousin. Esther is Mordecai's cousin, and Mordecai took her in because of her father's and mother's death and raised her just like his own daughter. All right, beautiful young sister. You know what I'm saying? If you want to think about how we would see Esther today, she would be like the most beautiful sister you can think of today. I ain't gonna even name no names because I know y'all got y'all, y'all got y'all picks and stuff. We ain't about to have that argument. All right, go ahead.
Verse 8, so it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard,
Mm-hmm.
and when many maidens were gathered together in Shushan, the palace, to the custody of Guy, that Esther was brought also into the king's house,
Mm-hmm.
to the custody of Haggai,
Mm-hmm.
the keeper of the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9, and the maiden pleased him.
And the maiden pleased Haggai. Haggai was the keeper of all of the women that were supposed to be brought to King Ahasuerus, right? But she was the most impressive out of all of them. Now we talking about a Israelite sister, man.
Right.
An Israelite sister that lived inside of a land where there was heathens everywhere. And out of all of the people on the earth, she was the most beautiful one there. You understand? She was impressed. She was impressive to her God, right? Keep going.
Verse 9,
Uh-huh.
and the maiden pleased him,
Mm-hmm.
and she obtained kindness of him.
And she obtained kindness of him. She's so beautiful. She obtained kindness, right? Keep going.
And he speedily gave her things for purification,
Mm-hmm.
with such things as belonged to her,
Mm-hmm.
and 7 maidens which were meet to be given her
Mm-hmm.
out of the king's house. And he preferred her and her maidens unto the best place of the house of the woman.
You understand? She was so beautiful and so bad. You know what I'm saying? They rushed her through that process. They got her, they got her all of the best oils. They got her the ornaments and they put her in the best place in the house. They took care of that woman. You understand? They took care of her and they loved, they was extremely kind unto her, compared to all of the other sisters, man. Keep going.
Come. Verse 10. Esther had not shewed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she would not shew it.
Which says what? Which says that Esther knew how to follow orders, man.
Right.
She knew how to follow instruction because she didn't tell nobody else what she was doing. Mordecai told her not to, but she had somebody who was over her. You understand? That told her what to do and how to conduct herself. You know what I'm saying? Even though she was brought to this palace and is going to potentially become this king's wife, she still knew who to report to at the end of the day. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 11. And Mordecai walked every day
Mm-hmm.
before the court of the woman's house to know how Esther did,
Mm-hmm.
and what should become of her.
And Mordecai walked every day to that palace to see what was going on with her. He checked up on his cousin who he raised as a daughter. Yeah, he checked up on that woman. Keep going.
Verse 12. Now when every maid's turn was to come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months, according to the manner of the woman.
Mm-hmm.
For so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors,
Mm-hmm.
and with other things for the purifying of the woman. Verse 13. Then thus came every maiden unto the king, whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the king of out of the house of the woman into the king's house.
So now it was time for them to go to the king's house to be presented before the king, right? Keep going.
Verse 14. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned to the second house of the women, to the custody of Shagaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubine. She came in unto him, the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name.
Read it one more time. Select from the top.
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 14. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the woman, to the custody of Shagaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines.
Right.
She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her.
The king already knew what he wanted. King already knew what he wanted. He delighted in her. Like, once again, she was oppressive. She was beautiful. Esther was a dime piece, man. You understand? She was beautiful. Keep going.
And that she were called by name. Verse 15. Now when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was to come to go in unto the king. She required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the woman, appointed. And Esther attained favor in the sight of all of them that looked upon her.
Once again, beautiful woman obtained sight and favor, was already loved by everybody, and especially everybody inside the king's palace, right? Because of her beauty. She was just beautiful to be gaze upon, man. Keep going.
Verse 16. So Esther was taken unto a king Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. Verse 17. And the king loved Esther.
And the king loved Esther. Keep going.
Above all the women.
Above all of those women. Esther was loved. Above all of those women. Read on.
And she attained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins.
She obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins that was brought unto him, man. Right? Keep going.
So that he set the royal crown upon her head.
And when he made her the queen, you understand? Made her his queen. Keep going.
And made her queen instead of Vashti. Verse 18. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a relief to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king.
Keep going.
Verse 19. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate. Verse 20.
So in other words, he became like an official. He sat at the king's gate. He became like an official or a guard at the king's palace. Right? He was given a job. He was given a duty. Right? Read on.
Verse 20. Esther had not yet shewed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai.
She did the commandment of Mordecai, which she should have, because Mordecai was her Lord, man. Mordecai was the man who represented her, man. You understand? Keep going.
Like as when she was brought up with him.
Just like she obeyed him like a father. You know what I'm saying? And he was a wise man, and he knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And they were in captivity under this time. So he knew that Mordecai knew that there would be a great benefit of having this sister being married to the king who had our people in captivity, man.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 21. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlain, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king of Ahasuerus. Verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai,
Uh-huh.
who told it unto Esther, the queen.
Salaki, go back, read that from the top one more time. Salaki,
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther, the queen.
I'm sorry, go back to 21.
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate,
Uh-huh.
two of the king's chamberlains,
Uh-huh.
Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king of Assuerus.
They was planning on killing Assuerus, man. And Mordecai overheard them planning to make an assassination attempt on King Assuerus. Right? Read on.
Verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai.
Mordecai heard it. Read on.
Who told it unto Esther, the queen.
And he told Esther, right? He said, he let them know, yo, these men sitting back here, they talking, plotting on killing you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mordecai told me they talking about killing you. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
Uh-huh.
Verse 23. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
These men was put to death. They was put to death, and this solidified Mordecai's loyalty to the king because he stopped an assassination attempt. And it was because he informed Queen, you understand, Queen Esther, and let her know. You know what I'm saying? And she was able to go and report that, and it stopped them from being killed. So they put them in to death. And that brought Mordecai even much more closer to the king, which would benefit us later on in this situation. Right? Read on.
The book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
So now he appointed a second-hand man, and this was Haman. And everybody know Haman. Haman was an evil bastard, man. Haman wanted the destruction of the Jews. If he had it his way, we're going to get all the way into it, but if he had it his way, there wouldn't be no us today, man. You understand? Because he tried to get rid of us. He tried to actually get rid of us for his hatred of Mordecai, man. You understand? And Haman was one of them small hats. You would call them today, one of them small hats. You understand? Them, what is it called? The Jewish people. Damn right. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman. For the king has so commanded concerning him.
Mm-hmm.
But Mordecai bowed not.
But Mordecai refused not to do it, which was so righteous that he didn't do it. Why? Because in our law, we don't bow to nobody but God, man. We don't bow to no goddamn man. Give that a hand. You know what I'm saying? Read that again. That was so heavy.
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman. For the king has so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Verse 3. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou?
So they asking him, Salakia, I'm sorry, read that. Go ahead and finish that off.
Why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
Yeah, so now he asking, like, why you not doing what everybody else doing? The king put out a decree that we had to bow when we see Haman come through these streets. Why you ain't bowing? Right? That's what they asking Mordecai. Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 4. Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand. For he had told them that he was a Jew.
And why did he tell them he was a Jew? We just answered that earlier. Why did he tell them the reason why I'm not doing it is because I'm a Jew? Why did he say that? Any brother or sister can answer that. Any of them brothers, sisters, why do you say that? Go ahead, Art. There, you give them a hand. Because the Jews don't bow down to men, man. We bow down to the Most High.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
We didn't all live this. You tell your kids don't stand when they pledge that allegiance at school, right?
Damn right.
And once we came into the truth, we knew not to pledge allegiance, not to stand for the flag. We didn't did that, and you know all the persecution you get through there. I had to battle my son's whole school over that.
Damn right.
Damn near started to fail.
Damn
because
right.
He would not stand up in the moment.
Run down.
No sweat, no sweat.
Damn right.
So, and we face the persecution for standing for the Lord because we are Jews, just like Mordecai was. You understand? Catholic, you took a whole knee. He went against the king rule. In America, you got to stand when they say that I pledge allegiance to, what is it they say, the national anthem, right? You got to stand for that. Take your hat off, put your hand over your heart. Colin Kaepernick took a knee. They made other blacks and Spanish take a knee during that damn national anthem. Even some of our enemies took knee. But of course, it is like the scriptures say. But also, they found somebody that could put witchcraft amongst the Jews and speak elegantly and convince us not to go against the king. That was Jay-Z in this time. You know what I'm saying? But there were other people in the past, the same thing Mordecai went through, and we would be going through. We live in it in some way right now. We in these times of Mordecai and Purim. We still in the same time. People plotting against us, want to spread the word. Let's get rid of these people. They ain't following the things that we do. They ain't following our customs. Let's get rid of them. Let's enact laws to bring them down and put them behind cages. Let's enact laws to unalive them and get rid of them. We live in it today, man. The Bible is real. And this was the only real thing in my life since I've been commanded during your honor. I saw the pages come to life. You understand? And so we live in it. Go out, slap yourself.
Hey, no time press. And if I could, first of all, I want to say all praises due to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Give the Most High Christ a hand on everything we do. Our holy King has strengthened us and got us on track. Is Muhammad here? Okay. Got us on track. That man you just finished listening to was one of only two men that had the strength at that time to stand up against the lies that was being told and to simply ask the question whether or not it was true or not. That man right there is as responsible as I am and as General Muhammad is for this truth being able to be continued, along with the other generals who met with us in D.C., General Shalmar, General Kabbalah Moth, General Kathum Gabar. Did I miss somebody? I think that's right. Who also stood up with us. I'm getting old, man. I've been saying y'all names for 20 years. Starting to forget them now. No. Like who have stood with us for all these years to carry forth this truth. And it has been an amazing journey, an amazing ride. The water, General Mayak, man, you put it every bit of it on the line, man. Man, right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go on all night just on Mayak. I could do a class. I'm going to start doing classes on y'all in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank everybody who came out. We're going to pick up, for those of you that may not know. Will you read now? You got it? Beautiful. Okay. We're going to pick up from the 5th chapter of Esther and carry it on out. We're going to run for about an hour and get into it a little bit, man, on what happened on the other side of the table. This was an amazing event that took place, and it is the reason we're here together now. It's the reason we still have this struggle in us. Once again, if you ever wanted to have something to motivate you to do the Lord's will or to be strong in these tough times, you got it, because these scriptures are filled with secrets. secrets that the Lord only reveals to the prophets. And that's why they're only coming out through us now in the work of the Most High. This sister here was an amazing sister. She was unlike what you see on Instagram and YouTube and social media in general today. She was phenomenal in what she did. So let's get it in. We're going to bump it up to the 5th chapter, starting at the 1st verse.
The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 1.
Any other questions before I go on? Anything I left out? Anybody? All right, let's go.
The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 1. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day that Esther put on her royal apparel.
got something on them.
Come.
Like Haman is in charge of everything, but because of one man would not bow, that it's too much for him.
Bring your chair up here, my guy. I see you ready.
I've been sick for 2 weeks. I'm good. I'm bursting with it. Cesariak had to stop me on something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and Commander General Hyman, they done brought this out in the past, how our enemies, these heathen, it's never enough for them. You can't give them enough loyalty. You can't give them enough love. Our people done bled in their wars, like General Hyman brought out, died, saluted their flags for centuries, and they still hate us. Why? What the hell we do? You know what I'm saying? We don't deserve their hate, but it's biblical, their hatred for us. It's biblical. Haman is second to the king. Everybody, the empires is bowing to him under the king's orders, but this one brother doesn't bow, and he wants the whole race to die, man. They are sore losers, man. It's just incredible to me.
You know, winners too.
They
win and be mad.
You know what
I mean? Come, let's go.
The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 2. And it was so when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter.
And Chell, just reading the story, that the Lord put the spirit on Esther to just captivate this dude, which a heathen ain't never on the level of our sisters. It's just we were in captivity. So the Lord put her in place right there to deliver this nation when the time came. And it shows you how easily we could have lost everything we had. You understand? Jump in there anytime you're ready, John. Go ahead, please.
Head out to Esther, the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
Verse. He put the scepter out like that there. That's what he would do. And then you touch the top of the scepter, like recognizing him as the king. And then you can come and deal with him. They had all these type of rituals to try to keep them heathens in line. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request?
Go ahead.
It shall be even given thee to half of the kingdom.
Right. He said, I'll give you whatever you want, Esther. I'll give it to you. Even up to half the kingdom. Go ahead, Q.
Sheba didn't have nothing on Queen Esther.
Exactly. Right. They pumped her up like she was something amazing. Right. Exactly. And had the nerve to boast themselves and act like he gave her the thing. When she was up there to see what real power was. Like this sister right here could wield some power for with the hand of the Lord. And this is a lesson. Let me tell you something. This is a lesson for all sisters and brothers. That our fight for our morality is at hand. Could we get this brother a couple of chairs? Hey, how you doing there, Warrior? Shalom, brother. Good to see you, man.
Get some more chairs.
Let's get some chairs. Can we get some chairs for the brother? Yes, sir. You coming? Okay. 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 Yes. Yeah, somebody give him some water, cat. Water, Cesaria. Get all these seats up here, man. The sisters need some seats. Get them all them seats. We got to get y'all more chairs. North Carolina. It's a beautiful school in here, man. Hey, give it up to Captain Isupk and Officer Lahar. Give it up for them, man. And all you brothers up there in North Carolina, man. Getting it on. All right, let's keep going. We don't drag too long. Let's ride.
Come. The book Esther, chapter 5, verse 3. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther, and what is thy request? It shall be even given given thee to half of the kingdom.
The Lord knew ahead of time this was a dude, man, that loved a beautiful woman. So the Lord put a woman on him so beautiful, brother, that he was ready to give up half that kingdom to her. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 4. And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman, come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
And Israel's always been cunning. She could have just told him right there. But she said, nah, if it please the king, I'm going to make a banquet for you. And just you and Haman come. Just y'all come. We just going to get together. And he loving it. Like, oh, man, I'm going to hang with Esther now. We gonna have a good time.
Right.
But she putting the plot in on him. The plot to save the nation. Today, this beast done turned our sisters in a spirit to plot against you. Now you the paycheck. You the one she plotting on against. Because their mind been jammed up by Esau. Go ahead. You was gonna say
what's the proof of that? And what's the reason why? How can he get our sisters to turn against us? That bad. They call it the bad. They think if they turn against us and please daddy, our slave master, they get that bag. But then daddy always showed them at the end, you ain't getting but a penny. Look at Taraji P. Henson. Look at all the entertainers, man. They know that the small hats ain't giving them but a drop of what they got, man. And then they find, then they live in the truth, and now they in it. So they say, I guess I just got to keep doing it, like Steve Harvey. I guess we just got to keep kissing the ring. I guess we got to keep doing it, Oprah and all that. Now we fighting amongst each other to get the penny that he drops at us. They the real puppet masters, man. So, you know, our sisters, that's why they giving up all their spirit for money. Right. And the love of money is the root of all evil. The proof is look at our people today. So like you said.
No, that was dead on right, Maya. Like we should look at our game as a tool to fight the enemy. Remember now, this woman got a mansion, wealth. She ain't broke. She up there near the king. She got her own mansion. She got Vashti's mansion, which was bringing out earlier that she got Vashti's kingdom. I mean, Vashti's mansion and her wealth and her jewels. But what is she doing? She's plotting for her people. That's why we always telling them entertainers, if you getting money from them, why are you such a slave to them? Like getting the money is supposed to make you plot harder against them. Black entertainers should have been building black theaters. It should be a black theater network in every major city. Everybody knows media is how you influence the masses. Why isn't there an independent black-owned movie theater in every major city in America? So that when those type of movies come out, we put them in all our theaters, and who cares what the small hats say? Where's all the black, and they got the paper. The paper is not even an issue. Where's the network of black playhouses? I can't wait to see that again. There used to be a time when black people had their own playhouses, and they would put on plays and performances that would influence us in our struggle. They stealing all the black independent radio stations, and we giving them up. We should be warring for all of ours. We gave up the Negro Leagues.
Right.
Mistake. We gave up our boycotts on the buses. Instead of making a bus company, we went and gave it up. Mistake. Gave up all our music. You heard Benzino, what's his name? Benzino fall on his sword the other night on Drink Champ. He fell on, he what they call it, what they call that when they put the blade in and cut you? Harry Carey, right? He put the Harry Carey on his ass and chopped his own gut out spiritually, which was sad to do. That's why the Lord needs men that really, truly have faith in the Most High. And faith don't mean you sit around. Faith without works is dead. Faith means you get to work and make something happen for this nation to go forward. Well, this sister here, this is the year, I'm telling you, sister's going to do amazing things to crush that demon on them sisters out there. Go ahead, General.
And what's their excuse, General? Why they ain't home with their kids because they trying to become a star. They trying to get this bag. And what they tell their friends and family and the ones they love, they say, I'm doing this because I'm going to bring it back home. I'm doing this to have a better life for the whole family. A lot of them even say I'm doing this to bring it back to the hood. But that second part never comes. It never comes because why? The small hat knew your intentions. They know you trying to come up and bring the hood up. They know all that. So they got things in place, and in them contracts, boy, they got things in place where they are always in charge. And you ain't never in a position to control what you didn't produce. You know what I'm saying? To come back to the hood. So,
no, you're right. And if you don't have yours, then you got nothing. You understand? And you gonna get more by not going with it. We done open up schools all over the place. This is my first time in this school. My first time in this. How long y'all had this school? Damn right. How long we had this school?
Couple years, sir.
Huh? A few years. This is my first time stepping in this school. 3 years. My first time stepping in it. It was my first time stepping in the one in South Carolina. Like, that's how we rolling because we doing it ourselves. And imagine what's going to happen coming in the near future, man. You know what I'm saying? This going to be your bodega. This going to be your courthouse. This going to be your marriage council house. This going to be your business center. And above all, this going to be the place where you learn everything about the Most High and Christ. Right here in these buildings that we building right here. They look small now, but in a minute, you're going to have to get a ticket outside, down at the corner. Well, you try to go, you got to get a ticket, man. You got to go down the corner and see that brother down there. That brother got that red scarf on. See him down there. No, the one all the way down there. Go see him. That's how it's going to be. And I pray, I can't wait for it, because this is the time that it should happen. Like, we deserve to be delivered from slavery. We served this bastard on every level that he could ask us to do. We served him, built his empire, made it the greatest empire in the world. And we still got to give it. We still got to grovel, and we got to be thankful for every quarter and dime we get. When we serve, our great grandfathers and grandmothers served this place for absolutely nothing. All across this United States and the Caribbean and Central and South America, and we still got to grovel. You understand? Now is the time that we should begin to become free from this place. And we're going to see it real soon. Let's keep going.
Come. The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 5. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther have said.
Right. He told, hurry up, because I want to go see Esther. Tell Haman to hurry up. Get ready. We're going to a banquet. Just the three of us. Go ahead, Op.
So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. Verse 6. And the king said it to Esther, at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition?
He's still trying to figure it out. What you want, girl? What you want? I give you whatever you want. Up to half this kingdom, just tell me what you want. He the king. He ain't got to give her nothing. But that's how impressive she was. That's how powerful a righteous sister is. It's beyond just a long skirt on. A sister in the right spirit could move the world. Scriptures tell you that even in the New Testament. Muhammad pull it all the time, right? That one where it say, you quote it for me if you don't mind, General. The husbands will be won by the wives. That means a woman's conversation can do major movement in the earth, which is also why, the water, General, which is also why Esau is trying so hard to get our wives to become like an animal, to prey on you, to become unruly, to speak. Every sister from young should be being taught how to speak, how not to put that spirit out. Men been crying about it for the last 5 decades. That woman mouth, that woman mouth, that woman mouth. Let's teach her how not to have that mouth. And we'll do something amazing, man, in this kingdom. We'll do something amazing. Just like that heathen fell down, brothers will fall down and hear the words of sister. A lot of you, I don't know, most of you know the sister, and she's a Muslim, okay? Shahrazad Ali. Y'all heard of her, right? But now y'all wasn't around. Most of you wasn't around when she came out with that book. Now, it's flaws in the book, okay? You only could get it from the scriptures right. But she came out with that book, brother, back in the day. I remember when the day she came out with it, the world went left field. She put that book out. Oprah was in there like she wanted to slay her. She was on Oprah like, what? And because in the book, she was laying it out in the way that she could. And she caught nothing but backlash from it. And then it caught on. Here was the killer. There were so many sisters who really wanted to, they didn't want this conflict with their man. They wanted to get on the right page. So they started breaking away from the traditional ways that people operate here today. And guess what? Esau took her off of every airwave, every TV show, everything. He canceled all of it. He shut her all the way down because sisters was beginning to try to fix themselves and get right. The whole attitude that our sisters got is fake. It's created by whores that they put on TV and make rich, who make songs telling you to do the most horrible things you ever could think of. That's made up. That ain't real life. That's made up life. So when the sisters learn how real life works, they get in amazing families. And I know brothers is, I keeps a back for brother. You just gotta report him. You know what I'm saying? We'll get him right. So let's keep going.
Come.
Please.
The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 6.
Come on.
And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to half of the kingdom, it shall be performed. Verse 7. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, verse 8, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them.
Go ahead.
I will do tomorrow as the king has said. Verse 9. Then went Haman forth that day, joyful and with glad heart. When Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
He put so much pressure on Mordecai, man, to get Mordecai to bow to him. He done already set it up. Mordecai, people all about to be slain. He having parties and enjoying himself. And he's still mad that Haman won't bow down to him, man, when he see him in the gate. That Mordecai won't humble himself. And these heathen think exactly the same.
Right.
These Edomites think this way. All these tribes think this way. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself. Mm-hmm. And when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh his wife. Verse 11. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children and all the things wherein the king had promoted him.
Right. He was sitting up there talking about, I got children, I got family, I got money, I got wealth. The king gave me everything. I'm the bomb. This is a heathen. Go ahead. But what was really on his mind? Go ahead.
And how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king.
I'm down with the king. I'm above, and that was some provinces out. And this cat must have been so wealthy and so powerful in that empire. He's sitting up there in splendor. Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 12. Haman said, moreover, Esther, the queen did let no man come in with the king until the banquet that she had prepared but myself.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to even go to the banquet. And ain't nobody could come to the banquet. And that's us when we get out. You ever see them brothers be on them different videos and they be talking about what they got? Yeah, man, though, y'all don't know nothing about this. Y'all don't know about this. Why? Y'all don't. When you hear that, that's the same demon on him. That's the same demon that's on him. You understand? Like, that's the same carnal demon that will destroy you if you're not careful. Go ahead.
Come.
It fits on a heathen. It doesn't fit on us. Go ahead.
And tomorrow.
I done heard many Israelites say in the entertainment world, some of you niggas ain't never seen $1 million. You ain't never seen $1 million. I know y'all done heard that, right? That's that demon there. amongst us that don't fit. Like,
no, you're right. That's that same thing. When we should be seeking is Christ's kingdom. Why? Because Christ's gonna have the power to raise the dead.
That's right.
That's a kingdom. You want a kingdom with some power. Well, Christ is gonna have a kingdom that will never, ever, ever, ever have another nation come up against that kingdom ever again. We don't know what it's like to live in peace. We don't know what it's like to go down the road in peace. In Christ's kingdom, brother, nobody shall rise against the Lord's chosen at all. Give me some more.
Come. And tomorrow am I invited. It's like invited enter also with the king.
He all up in his splendor, thinking he's great. Meanwhile, the Most High is about to use this woman to do him in and to stop these heathens from the evil that they bring forth. The power of a righteous sister. And let me tell you something, man. All them sisters, man, in them agencies, you know how much seats sisters got? You been to Washington, D.C., man? Black women run the infrastructure of Washington, D.C. You go up there for that damn convention, you know what I mean, that Black Caucus. Them sisters running them places, okay? They running them places. They up there with the governors and the mayors and all the powerful seats. And then the minute you come to the window at DMV trying to just get a driver's license, what? No, you ain't. What? You got to fill this paper out. And giving you a demon when it ain't even necessary. You can't get any compassion for what you go through. Well, this sister right here had compassion on her brothers and sisters like you ain't never seen before. She gambled her entire wealth, her position next to the king, which was totally, she could have lost everything. She gambled it all to deliver us.
that's right.
We raise up sisters and daughters like that in the UPK, and we're going to be something to see. We're going to be something amazing. They can talk all that philosophical bullshit they want. Excuse my French. We got the kids in. They can talk that bull all they want. God's word, is way better. Way better, way more informative, way stronger, way more in the spirit, and will do more by the power and the hand of the Lord than you could ever do in a carnal world. This what you watching is the Lord work. The Lord is amazing. This story we read, whether you know it or not, the Lord is showing you what's going on in the front office, and he's showing you what's going on in the fourth dimension in the back office. He's showing you both sides of the coin at the same time. So you know what you see the story, but he also showing you this what he's doing in the back. And brother, it's supposed to give you faith. It's supposed to make you strong, sister. It's supposed to make you remember this so that the next time you in the crossroad, the next time you in that situation where that boss is trying to put pressure on you to do something evil to somebody on that slavery, you're supposed to think about it then and say, you know what? Esther wouldn't have done this. Sarah wouldn't have done this. I'm not going to do it either. And you'll be strong with the Most High and you'll change something. And brother, we start a wave of that. Our sisters, let me tell you something. Our sisters that's out there destroyed with, they looking for us to change them. And they looking for sisters to show them the example. And we going to do it too. Go ahead,
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 13. Yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate.
All my riches, all my family, all my money, it don't do me nothing. As long as I see this nigga at the gate, not willing to bow to me. And that's how heathens think. That's how a demon from Satan will try to make you be against your own brothers and against your own sisters. And they win in the war. Brothers hating brothers over nothing. Sisters hating sisters out there over nothing. If it wasn't for what's going on in this sanctuary, there'd be nothing, and I mean nothing, built to fight against the forces that's turning us one against each other and destroying us as a people. There'd be no forces. When you come in this room and shut that door, this a different world. What's going on in here is what you see in the back office in the story.
That's right.
That's what's happening in here. That's just the back office right here. What's happening out there, that's the front office. Read.
The book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 14. Then said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high. And tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged.
Right. Go up in there, man, and get that straight. Go up in there and set up them gallows, man. And when you go up in there and it's just you and the king and the queen, make sure you tell the king, let me go on and kill Mordecai and get rid of him. Get him out the way. And that same plot took place with John the Baptist. That same plot took place with the queen of Egypt with Joseph. That same plot took place many times. Many times you've been in the crossroad whether to make a righteous decision or to make an evil decision. And the pressure was on. And at that time, you got to make that right decision, especially now. We've been under a lot of grace. But we coming closer and closer to this end. Now's the time, man, to make ourselves white as snow. In righteousness is what I mean. Let's read.
Khan.
Anytime you ready, Jim. Go ahead.
Salaki. And tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou and merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made. The book of Esther, chapter 6, verse 1. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the chronicles.
That was the Lord. That was the back office. The back office, the Most High was giving him a conscience. He couldn't sleep. He said, man, bring me the records. There's got to be something wrong going on here, man. What am I missing? Bring me the records of what's happening in the kingdom and what took place. And he started reading the records. That's why they kept them records. And records is so they can run their kingdom. They can have records on what happened, what took place, who they fought, who their enemies were, who did them favors, who was on their side. And he started going through the records, checking. Go ahead.
Khan. And they were read before the king. Verse 2. It was found written that Mordecai had told Begasna and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
Meaning they were going to kill this king. Y'all read it yesterday. Where they were going to come together and kill this king. The same king that Esther was married to. Go ahead, General.
This ain't the Chronicles of Israel. This is his records and what happens in his kingdom, right?
Yes.
And they just happen to go over the latest things when Mordecai saved his life, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, no, sir.
In other words, he going through the records, and in them records, he see, oh man, this is the guy that reported these two guys that was plotting to kill me. And him trying to run his kingdom. So as he trying to run his kingdom, he trying to make right decisions. And that's why he can't sleep at night. The Lord troubling him because the Lord want him to make a right decision. So he get troubled at night. So now he get up and say, bring me the royal records, man. Let me see what's been going on. What am I missing? Why I can't get no sleep? It happens to y'all many times. You can't get no sleep, something bothering you. Let me go look at your records, them scripts. Y'all be on them scripts late night, down in the basement. You're right, like, what you doing? I'm just checking on something. You going through them scripts, trying to figure out what's going on. That's your records. You the royalty that checks your records. Well, he was doing the same thing in his kingdom, which was the Lord troubling him. Salaki.
He didn't want to lose half that kingdom. He was trying to make sure he had all his bases covered too.
I mean, no, I can't say that. He told her, and he would have gave it to her. The Lord put the spirit on him to make him crazy about her. But the Lord also troubled him that night. You know what I'm saying? It, made him wonder what am I missing? This happens to every man. Every man, when you got a perplexing situation come, you sit down and try to think about what did I miss? What went wrong? Let me go back over my steps. What's my history in this situation? Every man does it, and But the Lord is in it, making him not even be able to sleep in it. So he's stirring his soul up like. And so as he going through, because he want him to go read this record. The Lord want him to go and find this record so he can make the right judgment. Go ahead.
Come with come.
So I know what you're saying, Q. He didn't want Q was thought it was ridiculous. He give up half that kingdom. I see. He's like, go ahead.
The book of Esther.
But listen, I'm gonna hit you with something. Many men have given up half all they had to a woman, both poor and rich. Listen, you get the right thing put on you. You giving up half of all. What? You checking brother, you know, your wife just slapped the captain upside his head. Brother, y'all brothers got to be nice to the sisters. See, that's the problem. Man. We got too much rebellion in there. Like, tons of y'all have swayed judgment based on, you know what I'm saying? The power, the scriptures say, y'all know the scriptures. The scriptures say there's nothing more powerful than a woman save the truth. So make no mistake, you gonna give up whatever to get that righteous sister out. You know what I mean? Especially when you know what that righteous sister is. What's happening in this kingdom now, just to give you an insight, this kingdom is teaching everybody that the greatest sister to have is a whore. So what's happening is brothers is striving to become wealthy so that they can buy this whore. They can get this Instagram girl because that's what you're being taught. The human nature is still the same. The only difference is you just don't know the dynamics of what woman to go get because you're being taught wrong, which is why we're here. That's why we all here. We all here to teach our brothers and sisters what is a good woman. What is a righteous sister? What is a valuable sister? What does make her above rubies? Like you, that's why we're here. And as we begin to learn it, we then start to pick a different kind of woman. But either way, on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, the right woman, it'll only be the Lord that deliver you from her. You know what I'm saying? I just watched a Instagram video. Blew me away. This brother had a child. The child had heart surgery, and it was about to have heart surgery, and he was trying to save up the money. Some of y'all might have even seen it. He was trying to save up the money for the heart surgery. He come home one day and checked his bank account, and his bank account is empty. And he checked where the money went, and his woman went and bought Beyonce tickets. He turned the video on and been like, what the hell did you do? My child had to get Beyonce. My child had heart surgery. You went out and bought Beyonce tickets. And you should have heard her response. It was like, all this arguing, I don't want to even hear all that. I've been telling you to get me them Beyonce tickets. She did not care that his kid had open heart surgery. She was like, I don't want to even hear all that. Blah, 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 blah. She was giving him the business. Because why? He valued a whore because the world taught him to love a whore. So he went out and got a whore. What do you think all the fingernail and the fake eyelashes and all the attitude? The attitude is part of it too. The attitude, the mouth, all of that is created for you to believe that's a valuable woman. That's what it's created for. It's created to brainwash you and sisters and our daughters. But there's another kind of woman that comes from the Most High that's just as powerful. In fact, more powerful. One powerful enough to make a king give up half his kingdom. But the problem is this world don't know it yet. And when it does know it, these sisters that coming in here are going to be so valuable that the world going to be chasing them down like the Edomites was in the past. You understand? Now he look at her like a whore. But in the past, before Esau really got to twist her up like he did in the 60s, these Edomites was constantly trying to rape these sisters and attack these sisters and abuse these sisters. You understand? That's how some of them gangs in LA got started, because sisters was getting attacked by Edomites, and they had to now, mount up to make sure that they could push these Edomites back for what they was doing, because at that time Esau saw them sisters real valuable. Well, here's the thing. That could be brought back into the earth. And once again, all righteousness got to do is fight, and wickedness will fall. If you're willing to fight, wickedness will fall. But if you're not willing to fight, Satan uses fear to make you not fight for righteousness. It's a fear tactic. He don't even have to touch you. If he can put enough fear in you that he will touch you, you'll fold and let him bring all the evil in. You'll get off the corner because all he got to do is threaten your job. You'll get off the corner because all he got to do is make your mama and daddy mad with you for not going to church no more. You don't got to actually do nothing. All you got to do is make you scared enough and make you back up off of what you know to be right. That's what was happening to Mordecai. Mordecai is sitting in the gate still ain't bowing to this nigga, man. That's a bad nigga, man. Esther got the mansion. He about to get Esther knocked off. Esther sitting in the mansion, gold, diamonds, riches. He about to get her killed. Everybody else killed. You know he was catching flack. He's still in the goddamn gate. Ain't bowed down to this nigga yet. Making the demon on this cat, because it's a demon that want you to bow down. Right. Making the demon on this cat so mad that he willing to chance all his position and everything just to destroy this brother. And brother, that's how you got to resist. That's why them boot kisses, get your boot kiss. Right. Get your boot kiss. Come on, you know.
All them niggas.
Let them lather up that toe.
You know what I'm saying? They should scuff your boot before they kiss it. Make it shiny, then kiss it. And everybody who's saying, man, what y'all say gonna make them people mad, man. What y'all say gonna do this. The way y'all come. Y'all got to change how you come. You got to tone it down. All that mess because we make the Romans angry makes people think that what we do ain't gonna work. But time and time again, the Lord show you it works. So,
that's right. Right. And listen, and they so mad that you get a volunteer boot kiss. Like you ain't forcing nobody, but the sheer fact that you take the kingdom and take the Edomite and put him on the bottom and put you on the top for them 2 seconds, it's enraging to them because it's a demon on them that has always teaching them that they are greater than you. And you are now crushing that demon and turning it the other way. This is a spiritual war as well as a carnal war. Right. You got to put both sides together and bring that force of the Most High through. And we're going to change the world just like our king told us to. One thing we can count on, our king never lied. He never lied. He took the first bullet and then said, look, just follow me. It's going to be fine. And that's all we need to do. Let's go, because I'm going to run out of town and keep talking. Come. Me and my hot rocking in here now. Come on, you know.
The book of Esther.
No, don't slog it. Come on with it, please.
The book of Esther, chapter 6, verse 2. It was found written that Mordecai had told Abagathna and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
Right. See, the king is now who the Lord troubled. He going back looking at the records, and he find out, oh, this cat Mordecai. Right. I remember this cat. This cat be at the gate all the time. This is a cat Hammond always complaining about. But this cat turned around, man, and saved my life. Right. When two cats from the inside try to cut my throat. And that's why it's always good to remember the brothers that stood with you in righteousness. You wonder why I bring these generals up all the time? Because I was in some dire goddamn straits out there in D.C., brother. People was trying to kill us, stab us with needles, pull knives on us, calling the cops every week. Edomites putting us in the paper. I was getting fined $1,000 every week. It was stacking up my head. Every time I went to camp, I had a goddamn headache because they stacking. Every time I hit the camp, $1,000 fine. And I had a Jake do it too. And he trying to get all up in my face like, yeah, you set that, you turn that mic on, it's $1,000 fine. Camp all the way set up. I got a couple of main soldiers with me. You understand? We down and out from the blows we done took. And this cat getting ready to hit me with another $1,000 fine. And I got to say right in front of him, go on, turn it on, man. Go on, turn it on. I got fake Israelites coming down. You remember Shalmar? They coming down in van loads, lining up on me, telling me get up off the corner.
That name be so
God,
piss me
God.
off.
Mendoza, man. Come on, man. Y'all know it. Oh my God. Salakia, man. Oh man. Oh man. That's it. Yes. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I ain't gonna go into the story because we're doing this story, but I'm gonna tell y'all, at the end of that whole scenario, that same Jake came back to that camp and apologized to me, to my face. When we went to court, won the case, crushed him, and he came back to me, man, at the end. He said, man, yo, man, I apologize, man. You know, you could tell the demon lifted up off him then, because the demon was on him to wipe us out. But when he come back, the demon had lifted up off of him. And that's why I mention these generals, not just because they're good now, but they was good when there was a time for them not to be good. They was strong when it was a time where I would have had to understand if they was weak. I would have had to say, well, they're young. So that's why they, I got to accept that. But they was not weak. They was strong. The men that walk with you in this truth, don't never forget them. Don't never forget the good acts. That's why the Lord had to remind this heathen. He's so busy drinking and partying and doing all of that. He forgetting who was down with them. I know they got flaws. I know they got issues. I know there's times that issues come up, but they gold in my eyes. They gold in my eyes because they stood against with me when I was facing absolute goddamn death. And they didn't flinch. They didn't bend. They didn't retract. I tried to get them to back up and walk away. I tried to give them an out so that they wouldn't have to go through what I went through, because I was going to do it if it cost me my life. And they stood with me, man, and they bad niggas, man. Y'all gonna get me upset tonight. Y'all gonna get me upset. You understand? Like, that's how we gotta walk in this truth, man. Anyway, let's get back to the story. We'll talk about you niggas all night. Come on.
The book of Esther, chapter 6, verse 3. And the king said, what honor and dignity have been done to Mordecai for this?
See, he trying to be just in his kingdom. Like, what did we do for this cat? This cat went and saved my life. What did we do for him? Did we look out for him? Did we give him something? Go ahead.
Then said the king's servant that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
He crushed him. He crushed him. He said, we ain't do nothing for him. He saved your life. We ain't do nothing. Cut him. Cut him bad. And he knew he had to do something then. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house, right, to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
Go ahead.
Verse 5.
You see how he timed everything? Just when this cat about to come to the king, the Lord get on this cat's spirit to make him remember Mordecai, man, that he owed this cat for saving his life. The Most High is poetic, beautiful, and every other thing you understand.
God, no, you're right. You absolutely right. The scriptures say this: goings of man are of the Lord. How can he then know his own way? The Lord controls your goings and everything you do. Your job is to obey the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments.
I'm right.
That's your job. The Lord is working it out whether it look good or bad. He's in the background working the whole thing the way it's supposed to go. Come on with it. I'll tell them where you are. You was going to say something else? Okay, good.
The book of Esther, chapter 6, verse 5. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in. Verse 6. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do the honor more than to myself?
Right. The Lord will play them heathens, man, if you stand with him. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And Haman answered the king for the man who the king delighteth to honor. Verse 8. Let the royal apparel be brought which the king uses to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown which is set upon his head. Verse 9. And let his apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man who the king delighteth to honor. Verse 10.
Come on.
Now, y'all see what's going on, right? Hammond's so carnal, right? He think the king is talking about him. Yes. What shall I do to the man who I want to honor? Oh, shoot. King, you should do this and that. All the fly things, this should be done. But the Most High is working a work, man. The king talking about Mordecai, who he want to kill. Or unalive, we on TikTok or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's just poetic to me. Like, I hope y'all see it. So like,
no, you're right. It's absolutely amazing. Go ahead. Like this story right here, this story should inspire every sister to say, I'm going to change my life and be a sister of the Lord.
Damn right.
I'm going to walk righteously. I'm going to be right. I'm going to get the counsel I need. I'm going to work with my husband, man. It ain't going to be easy, damn it. Life ain't easy. Life ain't fair. It's not going to be that. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to have to fight. You ain't going to get no kingdom if you ain't going to at least make the righteous decision when the pressure's on. You're not going to, you expected the Lord got to make the decision for you also? You can't make the right judgment call so that you can walk with him? He got to do that for you too? Remember what the scriptures say in Revelation. The kingdom of heaven as if a man walked on a road with fire on one side, water on the other. You got to be tried through this fire. You can't just have the whole daggone thing. Be strong. Fight for it. It's beautiful. And then the Lord is in the workings of it. You understand? We proof of it in here because Lord knows, like I mentioned earlier, where we was grounding from was the death of deaths. And the Lord raised this nation up because of these brothers, General Muhammad, the generals, General Mayak, all the brothers, the captains come in, y'all coming in now, and we still at the beginning of this nation. You imagine what this is going to be, man, in about 2 seconds? It's going to be everything in 2 seconds, man. Go ahead, Salaki.
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 6, verse 10. Then the king said to Haman, make haste and take the apparel and the horse, as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that has spoken.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse and arrayed Mordecai.
And the Most High is something. He had to go array the cat he hated the most. Like that shit cut him inside, brother. He had to go put them royal garments on the one cat that he just finished saying, with everything I got, it mean nothing because this cat won't bow to me. And he walk up in there and the king say, now go put that royal garment on him, march him through and he can't say, no, this the king. He don't want to get caught up. He got to do what the king say. He mad as hell. Most High know how to crush your heathen now. You understand? You worried about the power of Esau and the weapons of Esau. Oh, none of that matters. What matters is what's inside you to serve the Most High. Like what was inside Mordecai is what delivered the children of Israel. What was inside Esther is what helped deliver the children of Israel. That's what's important. What's important is what's in you.
I'm right.
What's important is what you decide you're going to be as a man of God and a sister of God. What are you going to decide? And once you decide it, that's when you're a problem for this evil empire. Go ahead, give me more.
Khan. And brought him on horseback through the street of the city and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor. Verse 12. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning, having his head covered.
He mad as hell. He is mourning over this dude. He is mourning. Remind me of what's the name of the king who took that man's garden because it was next to his palace? I want to say Agar. Ahab. He was another one that had that demon on him, where he wanted to destroy. He gonna kill his. Well, actually, he didn't do it, but he was so depressed that he couldn't have this man's garden that Jezebel went and killed this cat just to take his garden. So this selfish pig could have a garden so he can look out his goddamn window at another man's garden. Brother, that's what you got to fight. You fight that, you're going to be something to deal with. You make up your mind, sisters and brothers, that, you know what, I'm going to eat mud pies from Haiti. That's it. Now, anything above that is good. Paul was cold like that. Paul said, if you got food and raiment, be satisfied. Be satisfied. But you're going to be more than that, because Christ turned around and said, fear not, little children, for thou art more than the flowers that go into, I'm paraphrasing, that go into the oven. That's what the king said. So it's going to be more than that, but be ready to do that. All right, come on, because I'm going to hold us up. Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 6, verse 13. And Haman told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh, his wife, unto him, if Mordecai be if Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him.
His own people told him, you about to die. If Mordecai part of them Jews, you gonna die. Because now they got nothing but favor and love from the king. You in trouble. They let him know you in trouble now. His own people let him know. Go ahead.
Come. But shall surely fall before him. Verse 14. And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlains and hasted to bring Haman into the banquet that Esther had prepared.
Right. The guards came like, yo, you can't be late. Let's go. They got the banquet waiting on you. And they snatched him up, and he had to go to the banquet. He depressed.
Right.
He done went in there with sackcloth, but now he got to go into the banquet with Esther. Mordecai still at the gate. He got to go in there with Esther and the king. Come on.
The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 1. So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther, the queen. Verse 2. And the king said to Esther, on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to half of the kingdom.
Like the anticipation killing him. Esther, what you want? I'll give you whatever you want. I'll give you half the kingdom, baby. What you want? You got it, baby. You mad. You everything. Tell me what you want. I got you. And now she going to lay it on him. And she got riches, could get more riches. I want 5 mansions instead of 1. One more gold and diamonds. She could have took anything she wanted. This here is a righteous woman. This here is a woman that ain't like every average woman. This is a sister that aspired to do something great before the Most High. This is a sister here that decided she was not going to go by what she see in front of her, but she's going to make decisions of righteousness, whether it benefit her or not. She going to put it all on the line. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Then Esther, the queen, answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition and my people at my request. Verse 4. For we are sold, and I, my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to be perished. But if we have been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue.
And woo, my yacht. Did y'all pick that up? She came back and said, listen, king, here's my petition, that you save the lives of me and my people. She said, if you had said you were going to sell her, I would not even approach you, my king, my lord. I wouldn't even approach, even though you was going to sell all my people, I would not even approach you. But I only approach you because I don't want them to die. Brother, if you a king and you wielding power, you broke it. She got you now. You done.
Right.
You done. You might slay half the kingdom that's against her. You done because her righteousness was just too strong.
Right.
Like she honored him and respected him and honored his power and his authority and respected him and spoke to him right and dealt with him right and humbled herself to say, you know, my people should live. Didn't say none of that. Said, if you just sold them, I wouldn't have come up against it. I wouldn't even approach you. Like, woo, that's a level. I wouldn't even have moved on this thing. But Almighty King, if you could just let them live. Go ahead, give me some more.
Khan. I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage.
Right, meaning even though nobody could have stopped the king for whatever it is that he wanted, I still pray that you just let my people live. Like, this was a bad system here.
Khan.
Go ahead,
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 5. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he? And where is he that durst presume in his heart to do
ready
so?
To flex now. That's what you want? Is that what you've been wanting, baby? Who the hell and what did this? Who said this? I'm gonna kill him right now. This cat been holding up all my things for 3 days. Bring that nigga here. I'm finna kill him. You telling me I've been watching this tail walk up and down my palace for 3 days and smelling good and talking good because some nigga want to kill somebody? Bring that nigga here. I'm going to show you my killing. He ready to get it on for her. Sister is bad when she's in her right. When she walking right, she ain't no joke. And she half the body. We need the other half. We need it to work together. We got to work for the goal. Give me more.
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 6.
Go ahead.
And Esther said, the adversary and the enemy is this wicked Haman.
He's sitting up there among the good food and the wine and the servants. And she say, the man that's doing this is right here.
Good night.
Oh, the nigga you listen, his pride, he messed up. His pride in him, right? He want this woman, he want to be loved by her. She's amazing. And she say, this him right here. You can solve this right now. The Lord was in this. Go ahead.
Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen. Verse 7.
He got terrified that moment. She opened her mouth. He got terrified. And he knew that. He knew what it was. He knew she was smarter than him. He knew that what she was doing was better than what he was doing, which was actually serving the Lord.
I'm right.
Was more powerful than all his wittiness. You know what it took for him to get up to be number 2 in a kingdom that big? He had to be dirty, doing all kinds of stuff, got up to number 2 and got played by an Israelite sister. Got outsmarted, outmaneuvered by a sister in the truth. Give me some more.
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 7. And the king, arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath, went into the palace garden. And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen.
Right. He knew that. Once the king mad. What?
Right.
He get up, he walk out. This cat drop. Esther, please. I mean, just like heathens do. When they get in them crosshairs, oh, they could cry.
Good night.
Oh, they could cry. They cry like they didn't mean no parts of it. But the Lord's judgment coming now. The angels is up in the room now. Now the angels is sitting back like, woo, this was bad, man. About to get smoked. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
For he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine. And Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was.
The Lord furthered the judgment by letting him, he's so distraught, he fall down on her bed. Worst thing he could do, just as the king walking back in. The Lord sticking it to him. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. That's what you want. You want to trust in the Most High that he be down with you, man. You understand? That he choose the children of Israel and make the decision. He could change our world overnight if he want to. Well, will we change for the Most High overnight? Will we do that? He could do it, but will we do it? Go.
Then said the king, Will he force the queen also before me in the house?
You gonna take the meat too, goddammit? You was gonna kill all these people. You want the meat too? He mad as hell, It's the Lord doing it. Go ahead.
As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face.
Them boys was bad. He had them, them soldiers he had with him. He the king. Just as Haman, he said, you gonna take her too? You gonna unseat the queen? God demonstrate for a second. I ain't gonna put it on you. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use something else. As he talking, you gonna take the queen too? They done already prepared him for the funeral. They done already put the fabric over his head to tell him, you going. You done. That's the Most High. That's what we need. Right. We can't fight. We can't fight nuclear weapons. We can't fight that. But the Most High can.
Damn right.
Without even lifting a finger. Go ahead, Doc.
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 7, verse 9.
Go ahead.
And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubits high.
They was against it. Then now the cats that was down with Mordecai, they stepping up. King, he built a gallows 50 feet high. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we got to go through too much trouble to smoke this.
Right.
Get rid of him right now.
Right.
Go ahead.
Khan. Which,
like Christ's kingdom gonna be amazing now. You get into Christ's kingdom out and he be over these heathens, it's going to be amazing. You're gonna ask to just be in the room when them decisions get made. He's gonna be dropping decisions. So much gonna be going on that's so amazing, you're not even gonna be believing it, man. Go ahead,
Khan. The gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. Verse 10, so they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
Then he calmed down. Then he said, okay, all right. It's done. Let's go read 8. Let's read what Purim is about. The word Purim comes from the word per, which means lots. Okay? Because remember, Haman cast lots on the day that he was going to have the children of Israel wiped out from the face of the earth. And the Most High plotted on him and wiped him out. Go ahead,
Khan. The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther, the queen.
So not only did she already have the mansion and the wealth, he also gave her everything that Haman had. His mansions, his wealth, his power, he gave it to her as well. And let me tell you something, just on a little semi-sidebar. Like, this is why we got to uphold these holidays.
Right.
Like, these holidays is more than just a holiday to eat and to party. But these are the days to relive what took place in our past and how the Lord delivered us. Like, that, damn right. Like, that's what this is. You understand? Like, it's these days for us to not be carnal, but to remember that we have a power in heaven and that we got to just do our part for him to work with us. We have to be zealous to walk with the Most High and to trust in the Most High and to even face danger in the name of the Most High. And then the Most High will walk with us. He will be with us. He will help us. We need that constantly. We need that. We don't need, Valentine's Day BS.
That's right.
You understand? You can love your rib any day.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy her chocolates and gifts any day, a million days if you want. Every damn day. You got a rib and she righteous and you really love that rib and you are delighted by her. So go ahead, buy her chocolates every damn week. Buy her flowers. Women like flowers or buy them. If you believe it worked for you and all that, don't be hindered by it. Measure it, of course, to make sure that sister is that sister. But if that's that sister and she down with you, brother, go on and enjoy your wife. Enjoy her righteousness. Enjoy her being down with you. Buy her them gifts. You know what I mean? Be in harmony with her and let her be in harmony with you. It's a beautiful thing. There's nothing evil against that. In that matter of fact, it's damn near necessary now with all this LGBTQ BS going on. And wait till they bring in the child molesters and say it's all right to marry a child. That's next on the table. So your ability to raise beautiful relationships in righteousness and beautiful families is a necessary thing to be seen. It's necessary. I'm so glad this room is filled with all these sisters. If it was just us in here, those that hate us would be able to lie and say, yeah, that's a nice story, but y'all don't got no women like that. Right. But they can't say that now. Turn the camera around. Turn my camera around. Turn that camera around. Behold the daughters of Zion. Talk that. Give it up for them one more time. Talk that mess now. You understand? You understand? Like it is almost a necessary thing at this point, and a beautiful and righteous thing at this point. Okay, y'all, you good? We good, Barack? You got it lined up right? Just double check it on the screen.
It's a while, sir.
It's good. Perfect. Let's ride. Come on with it. About 10 minutes more, 15 minutes. We done, y'all. Come on.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews, enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her.
You hear that? Esther did not forget Mordecai. She didn't get the bag and get puffed up and just turn her back on him. She remembered him, man, and she also had a renewed respect for him. Why did she have that renewed respect? Because all this catastrophe took place because he wouldn't bow down to Haman. He put her life in danger, her wealth in danger, and she still stuck with Mordecai. She knew what kind of brother this brother was. She knew what he had gone through. She knew what he went through to raise up. And she stood with him on it, even though it meant possibly her life. Brother, these are our people. You ain't reading about no Edomite from no cave with a small hat. I ain't who you reading about. You reading about niggers, okay? You reading about the hood. You reading about the Lord's chosen people. That's who you reading about. The greatest people to ever walk on the face of the earth. I don't know about you, but I can't stop being fervently aggressive with this truth. Damn right. I can't never, don't listen. I'm going to be on a cane like this with one eye. The Most High. That might be all I say. Y'all have me sitting in the back. Y'all just wheel me out for one word. The Most High. Wheel my ass back in the back. I go home like I spoke today. Half senile and crazy. Dribbling soup out my mouth. I'm too fervent in this, man. I ain't never found nothing righteous in this earth but this. That's right. You understand? Let's go on. A few more minutes, fam. We're going to get to it. Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 2. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. Verse 3. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, in his device that he had devised against the Jews.
And let me add something else. It was right what Mordecai got. Who could tell me why? It was right that Mordecai got all this honor and all these things. Why was it right? Who could tell me why? Tell me why, brothers. Throw your hand up. Tell me why it was right that Mordecai got all this wealth and all this honor and all this respect. Go ahead, Ak. We know that. That's the back office. That's fourth dimension. Tell me in the third dimension, why was it right? See, you, come on, Israel. Why was it so right that he got the mansions, the gold, the diamond, the honor, the purple? Why was it right? And I ain't talking spiritual. I'm talking mathematics on why it's right and why he should have got it. Give you one more shot. All that's back office. That's spiritual. Don't tell me spiritual. Go ahead, Al. Back office. Come on. What you mean? Tell me what he did. No, that's all that's right. And what you're saying is right, is spiritual, It's totally right. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about without take the spirituality off of it. Just tell me why he should have got every bit of it. Brother, wait a minute. I got two in front of you. Go ahead, Op. Back in the room. That's spiritual. Y'all too spiritual. Y'all too righteous. Y'all don't think like we think. Come on. Oh, yeah. Come on, Op. Q? Ooh. Come on. That's why y'all can't answer no questions. Y'all always getting it right. I ain't taking no more answers from y'all. That's why. Because did he not save this king? This cat had 126 provinces, huh? Wealthy beyond belief. Two cats that worked right up under him was about to smoke his ass. And they didn't do nothing for Mordecai. Any nigga on the street about to get smoked, and you tell him, yo, don't go around the corner, they about to set you up. He gonna be thankful as hell. But meanwhile, this cat got 126 provinces, and Mordecai saved his damn life. He ain't do nothing for Mordecai. And Mordecai didn't ask for nothing. All he did was just not bow down to his right-hand man. So you damn right he deserved it. Just like Joseph deserved it in Egypt. Don't act like them heathens did nothing for us. We saved their life. We saved their kings. We built their kingdoms. Joseph, who understood the vision, had that king saved, put that food up for 7 years. So when the famine came, not only did he feed everybody, but he became the richest country in the world. And the same go for America. America owe us big time for what we done did here. We built this goddamn empire, man. You understand? Y'all brothers just righteous, the Lord, they spirit, the Most High. No, nigga, I did something, saved your life. Pay me, nigga. Pay me, heathen. And that's what's going to happen when we get in charge under Christ. What Christ's going to hand down, going to save them heathens from their own damn country. And he deserved to get paid for it. You understand? You put on a garment and fringes and a shield on your neck and a scarf on your head. When you walk down on the damn street corner and open up the Bible and tell black people stuff that the preacher never would tell them, nor would he ever understand. And break it down to him like that. You deserve what the hell you get. You ain't no goddamn charity case. You giving them more than they could ever have. Lick the bottom of my goddamn boot. That's right. The least you could do. Give me a little bit more so we can roll up out of here, because I got to get you the celebration and how they celebrated it. Come on out. We're gonna be done.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 4. Then the king had out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king. Verse 5, and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the things seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which in all the king's provinces. Verse 6, for how can I endure to see the evil that shall come into my people?
Boy, she put it on him, didn't she? She went up in there and said, how can I endure to see the destruction of my people, oh great king? This guy ready to kill everybody in the kingdom. Over this sister right here. He went and put it, she put it on him, and righteously.
Damn right.
And righteous saved his kingdom. Go ahead. Because for sure, Hammond would have been looking to smoke him next. And he obviously ain't have his game right, had 126 provinces, and two of his right-hand men getting ready to smoke him. So he ain't really have his game right nowhere.
Right.
Go ahead, Op.
Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
Go ahead.
Verse 7, then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Verse 8, write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse.
Jump to 11. I'm going to jump it down a little bit just for the time's sake. Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 11, wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life.
This is something else to learn. Every heathen in this empire hated us, to where that even though he was the king and he was sending out a new decree to not harm us, the king still had to send out a decree and say, y'all go protect yourself, because they going to go kill you. They going to want to kill you anyway. You wonder why the UPK is the way we are.
Right.
We the way we are because we know we hate it. Scripture say, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, man. You know what I mean? And we accept that the heathens hate us, but we don't accept that we don't love each other. That we ain't accepting. The heathens can hate us all they want, but we can't hate each other.
Damn right.
We can't not forgive each other. We can't build with each other. We must build with each other. Read on.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 11, wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them.
Right. Everybody that was lining up for this day to take us out, we had to line up against them to take them out. Jump to 15.
The book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 15. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white.
He became out royal for sitting on that ground. He didn't bow down to that heathen. The Lord walked him out of there in royal garments.
Damn right.
You understand? Don't bow down on that street corner.
You
You stand up for this truth. Don't be no bitch.
Damn right.
Stand up for this truth, man. You stand up for it. You gonna stand. You goddamn stand. You understand? You stand. Don't give a damn how long it takes. Don't give a damn how hard it is. Don't give a damn what you got to go through, because the alternative is perpetual slavery, which is the worst thing could ever happen to a people. We are no people trying to find our way back to being a people after being in this place so long. Don't put your sword down for nothing. You understand? Go ahead,
And
once again, I gotta say one more. That's why I'm so crazy about these generals. Because these niggas that stood with me and never put their sword down. And many of you captains in here as well, man. Y'all some badass. Many more of you coming up here, man. You understand? My main man here stood up against the purple, damn near by himself. I see every time I see him, boy, it's like, yeah, he's one of them real ones right there, man. You know what I mean? Like that man, damn right, give it up. You know what I mean? And not only him, man. Brothers got on me because the 2 councils ago, the brother from the Kentucky 8 came up on the screen, Malak, and I said, I turned to somebody and said, "That's my hero." And then brothers came to me afterwards like, "You head of the school? How you gonna be calling the cats your hero?" I said, "All right, I ain't gonna say it no more." They got mad with me, and rightfully, I ain't supposed to just be saying that. But you niggas is my heroes, man. You understand? I'm the last time I said it no more. Y'all my goddamn heroes, man. You know, man. I don't need Superman, man. I do not need Superman, man. All I got to do is go to South Carolina and get out on that range with Nakazaki. And it's Superman all day. And if he got Nakazaki ball with him, it's game over. Y'all the heroes, man. Y'all the ones gonna get crowns on your head from your house shot. You understand? And us as well, Lord willing. Ain't nothing greater, man, than a man that is strong, that will raise up amazing sisters that are strong, that stand for the Most High in Christ. Come on, let's finish it, y'all.
And with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple, in the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. Verse 16, the Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor. Verse 17, in every province and in every city, will whatsoever the kings commanded, and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Lord of the Jews fell upon them.
So they started converting and becoming servants to us because they knew the Lord was with us. Like they were spiritual enough back then to know the Lord is with these people, man. Because they was the record. Once again, that's why they like to say this book is a fantasy and a fairy tale, because the record be so amazing. They don't want you to ever believe that it could even be real.
Right.
They don't want you actually reading this and saying this actually happened. They want you to think this was some halfway embellished story that somebody wrote up to make it sound good. No, this would actually happen. These things took place. That's why this book is the book they can't ever put down. And this is why this record right here is the record that crushes all records, man. Because these things are all the examples of the Most High working before their eyes. And I'm going to give you one more example of it. Look around this room right now. Another miracle getting ready to happen right before the world that they never expected to come. That's what's getting ready to happen next. You understand? I'm going to stop right there because they did this celebration. Everybody else could read 9. We over the time. I don't want to hold us no much longer. But they went and had this celebration, man, and they kept this from year to year, which is why we here tonight with the story of Purim, where we stood up and our sisters stood up with us, and it should be movies made about this, man. Oh, this is amazing, amazing stuff. General, you good? With that, I turn the class over to the officer in charge. So what for coming out. Appreciate it.
Go.
I guess we can sit up here, right?
Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat.
Salat.
I imagine Barak.
Yehovah Hashem Yahweh Shah Barak.
Men of Israel, sons, sisters, I imagine Barak.
What everybody? They get to come up, so we'll just stay standing and let's go.